And the other thing about your journey that I love is we always talk about when you go on a journey like this, you need your support system, right?
Yeah.
And you certainly had some. Two very important people on your journey are now joining us in the front row. Psychotherapist and author of Chicken Soup for the Soul, Think, Act, and Be Happy, Dr. Mike Dow, and your trainer at Premier Fitness Camp, Brian Tipton. Gentlemen, welcome. So good to have you. Good to be here. All right, guys, let's talk about her progress and how awesome she's doing.
Look at how incredible she is. You know what, and Chris, you know what I love about you? You were getting all this great support. You were getting training, you were getting nutrition, but you were feeling a little anxious, right? And you reached out for help, right?
Yeah.
And of course, here I came, right? Yeah. So we did weekly mindfulness-based eating exercises, weekly mindfulness meditation. And Chrissy, how was that for you? How did that change how you felt?
I think it added some thought back into what became so thoughtless, which was eating, and actually realizing the reasons why. Because I always said if there was an emotion, there was a food that would fit that emotion, whether it was happy, sad, bored. And so that definitely added that aspect of, okay, not just what am I eating, but why am I eating? Because that's really the basis of meaningful change.
I'm curious, Chrissy, if during these sessions with Dr. Dow, you've come up with something that you can actually provide as a tip to viewers who maybe they were eating mindlessly before that you use.
First of all, it's what you decide to bring in the home. You know, if it's there and you're looking at it, then it's going to be that constant, like, gremlin in the back of your head.
So that's what I was getting at. You change the food you bring into your home.
For sure.
First lesson for everyone at home.
Yeah, if it's staring at you. The other thing is placing yourself. For me, it was a huge part of it, is to place myself in a new environment that was going to be conducive to the lifestyle that I wanted. So I actually ended up moving and wanted to separate from myself from, things and triggers that would enable those behaviors. So that was another big step.
And I'm assuming after you eat a meal now and you're eating mindfully, how do you feel after the meal as opposed to before?
It's not the point where you're so full that you're sick, because that's where it ended up, is by the time you even realize that you're full, it's too late. And so that's one of the biggest, and the satisfaction is there versus, man, I didn't even stop to enjoy what I was eating. So now it's like, well, I guess I can eat again in an hour once I'm not so full.
And we also on the show talk about incongruous behaviors, and if you eat so much that you stuff yourself, the last thing you're going to do is show up to see Brian and let him take you through the paces. So this all goes hand in hand. So Brian, obviously you have to be proud of the progress Chrissy's made.
I am absolutely stoked with the process that Chrissy has gone through, the progress she's made. She did things like she rode a bike for the first time in 20 years.
All right.
She climbed to the top of a rock climbing wall. She got out on a kayak. These are all kinds of things that she just hadn't done in the past, and it's amazing to see the new woman that she's become.
And Brian, I know that you've enjoyed working with Chrissy so much that you have something you'd like to say.
Yeah, well, we want to encourage her to continue on her path. So the guys at PFC have decided that for every additional 50 pounds that you lose, Chrissy, we're going to give you a free week stay back at camp.
And I'm just throwing this out there, and this is at your discretion, but this is one more surprise, because when you first came on the show, you talked about the possibility of having bariatric surgery, and we talked about if and when you reached 400 pounds. We reached out to bariatric surgeon Dr. Milton Owens of Coastal Center for Obesity. If you decide that that is a route that you would like to take, they're going to determine if you're a good candidate after an evaluation. If so, Dr. Owens is willing to do the surgery for free, if that's what you want.
That's amazing. Wow.
So, Chrissy, we're very proud of you. But before we say goodbye, one piece of encouragement to someone who's watching at home and they're where you were at 6 months ago.
Just start. There's going to be pause buttons along the way, and life's going to throw things at you. But the moment that you just decide today is the day, and that's kind of what I had to do, is just decide, all right, this is it. Here's the opportunity, and just take it and run with it and build yourself a good support team. And it'll happen.
Keep it up. Incredibly proud of you. Dr. Dow, Brian, thank you so much as well.